welcome back to my channel. Thanks for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment with any questions. So this video is something that I've been wanting to put together for a while. I get a lot of questions about how much can you make on Airbnb? Is it really profitable? How do I know if I'm a person buying a new home in Jamaica in one of these new developments? How do I know I'm going to be able to cover my mortgage and my maintenance fees and different things like that by renting the house out on Airbnb? Is it going to be profitable? Am I going to be losing money? Things like that. So these are questions I get a lot, either in comments or by email from different viewers. So I wanted to share my approach to this. I'm kind of a numbers person, and I like to look at things very factually and do my research. So what I typically do when I'm making these sort of decisions or looking at maybe you're trying to buy a house and you're looking at different areas to buy in. What I would suggest is if you have an area that you're looking at, for example, we will do Negril. Let's just pick that one for fun. If you're looking at a home in Negril, you obviously know what the purchase price of the home is. Say you're looking in the $20 million range. With $20 million, depending on how much you finance, you're going to have your mortgage payment, and if it's in a new development with amenities, you're also going to have maintenance fees. On top of that, some of your expenses will be maintaining your yard, and then also you will have bills like JPS for electric, NWC for your water, and Flow or Digicel for internet and TV. So when you're renting out on Airbnb, these are all expenses that you, as the homeowner and the host, have to pay. So there's a difference between Airbnb and renting your home out long term. If you rent out long term, then the tenant is responsible to pay JPS, NWC, and internet, Flow or Digicel. So that's a big difference with Airbnb. So you have to factor that into your calculations when you go to look at this. So to give you guys an idea of the bills, the internet that we have at our homes is with Flow. We have cable and internet through Flow, and it's about $9,500 a month. So I would factor in $9,500 for that. And then we have NWC, which is pretty low. It's usually not more than about $3,000 a month, I would say. If you have a lot of people at the house, it might be a little bit more, but I would say $3,000 is a safe bet to budget. And that's based on a 3-bedroom 3-bathroom house, just to let you guys know. And then the real wild card in the monthly bills is definitely JPS. If you are familiar with JPS, they can charge really high rates, especially in some of these new developments. They will charge you more than if you live in other neighborhoods. So, this is something, and I've mentioned this on other videos, JPS is something that really cuts into profits for Airbnb in Jamaica. So you really have to be careful about managing your JPS usage when you have guests. So one way to do that, obviously, is to install solar. And there's a gentleman, his name is Gino. I mentioned him in another video. He can set up solar for you if that's something you want to do. There is obviously a cost for that, and it is an upfront cost. It will save you money over time, but not everybody may be able to make that cost investment at the time they purchase a house, because there's other things that you're trying to buy also. So that's one way to mitigate those JPS fees. The other way that I found is really successful is the EcoSense AC sensors. Um, they are very helpful in managing the usage of the AC units. So, for example, in our 3 bedroom house, we have 4 AC units. And there's times when guests have left the AC running. They'll go to the beach for the day or out and about, and then they come back in the evening, and the AC has been running all day when no one's home. When that was happening, there were 3 consecutive months that I got bills over $90,000. Um, really expensive. One month it was like 92,000. Then the next one was 96,000, and then the next one was $101,000. So it can get very, very expensive for the electric. Once we put in the AC sensors, our bills went down to 30,000. So I really feel like those will help you manage that cost. Another great thing you can do is you will probably have a dryer in your house, an electric dryer, but also make sure you put up a clothesline in the back, because I found a lot of the people that rent our home are Jamaicans that live overseas and they're coming back to visit family or friends or just for vacation. And they will use the clothesline. I know when we go down, my husband likes to use the clothesline because that's what he grew up with and he enjoys that. So put the clothesline out back. It's a small cost and it will help to manage some of the usage of the dryer when you have guests that will use the clothesline. So I would say for JPS, if you install the AC sensors, then I would factor in about 35,000 for that bill each month. Okay, so another thing you have to factor in is your maintenance fees. So when you're looking at these developments, make sure that you ask how much are the maintenance fees. One of the communities we're in, the fees are $8,000 a month. The other community we're in, it's $11,250 a month. So it really depends on the size of the community, the amenities that they have, and the price will reflect that. So make sure you check into that so that you can factor that into your equation. And then obviously the biggest chunk of money you're going to have is your mortgage. So this will vary drastically person to person. Obviously, there's a lot of factors that go into this. How much is the purchase price of the home? How much are you actually financing? Are you putting the minimum down or are you putting more toward the principal? And then obviously, if you're paying cash, you don't have to factor that in. Although you do need to keep in mind property taxes on an annual basis for your home. And then the other thing is maintenance around the house. So, for example, keeping up the yard. So we pay, depending on the location, it's between $4,000 and $5,000. No, that's not right. It's between $8,000 and $9,000 a month. Sorry, for yard maintenance to just keep up the yard and keep the grass cut. So you have to factor that in as well. So all of these expenses, what you want to do is add these up, see what your monthly total is on that particular house that you're looking at. What will your mortgage be? What are the maintenance fees? What is your upkeep for the house, like the yard and different things? All your monthly bills like JPS, NWC, Flow, or Digicel. You have to know what your expenses are going to be. Add those up. And then what you do is I would suggest going on Airbnb and we're going to type in grill. We'll put in 7 Mile Beach. I'm flexible with dates. And we'll say December, January. Let's do 4 adults because that'll get us a 2-bedroom, probably a lot of results for 2 bedrooms. So I'm going to do my search And what I'm doing here is I'm basically trying to find a comparable, some comparable properties to the fictitious house that I'm buying in Negril. So if you are looking at a house in Negril, I recognize this right away. That's at the aqueducts. I have and it says right here, I have a video about the aqueducts. This is a really great development. This particular unit, it's a 2-bedroom, 2-bath. So it has room to sleep 6 guests. So they probably have some kind of pull-out couch or something like that in the living room. Also, you want to look at things like, do they have Wi-Fi? Is there a pool? Or do they have air conditioning? All these things will help you determine how closely related it is to your property. So you want to find something that's very similar to your property. So this would be a good one, obviously, to compare if you're looking in the aqueducts. This particular home, it's furnished very nicely. You can see they have furniture outside. So look at the pictures also to see if the furnishings and the amenities are comparable to your home. You can see that this property is running for $180 a night. Okay. So we're going to go back to our list. So that's an apartment. We have other, and another thing to look at also is if the person is a super host, that means they've been doing this for a while, that they have a lot of stays, they have good ratings, so you know it's like a top-notch place. Here's another place here. It can sleep up to 8 guests. There's 4 bedrooms. So if you have a larger house, you can look at this one. You can see the price was $310, but they've dropped it to $87. Now my bet is that they have some open time in their calendar, and they're trying to fill some dates, so they drop the price drastically. And that's super cheap for a 4-bedroom house. I would not use this as a benchmark. I would use the $310 because that's what they normally charge. The $87, in my opinion, is way, way low for that size house. All right, so here's some other examples. You have an entire condo. So this is another example, like the aqueducts, 2-bedroom, 2-bath. They're renting for $155 a night. Here's another townhouse, 2-bedroom, 2-bath, $180. So you're seeing a trend here. We have $180 per night, $155 up here. We had $180 a night for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo / apartment. So you can see the trend here. Here's another condo, 2-bedroom, 2-bath for $200. So you can see anywhere between $150 and $200 seems to be the going rate for 2-bedroom, 2-bath condos. This one is quite a bit more. It looks like it's right on the beach, so that could be the reason for the higher rate. So what you want to do is kind of remove outliers, and by outliers I mean these rates that are way, way high, like this one, like $285, or way low. You want to kind of take those out because that's going to affect what you're looking at. Personally, if I was looking at this information, I would use the average of 150 to about, say, 220 a night, because here's one for 260, here's one for 240. So I would say anywhere between 180 and 220 would kind of be the sweet spot. That's what you could probably get for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath in Negril. So then what you do is you take that information, that's how much you can get per night. And what I use as, oh, that's really cool. I love this with a loft. I really love lofts. So if you take that information, and we'll go with, say, 180 a night. I'm just going to get out my calculator. So let's say that we could charge people 180 a night for our home, our 2 bedroom, 2 bath condo in the grill. What I'm going to do is take that 180 and multiply it by 20. And what I'm doing is seeing if I had the home occupied for 20 nights a month, which is on the high end. That's a good month if you have 20 nights filled. 180 times 20 is $3,600. So that's a really good return. It sounds really good. So what you need to do then is take that $3,600, assuming that you would make that every month, which with COVID, you have to be careful. You know, some months you're going to be full. For example, I have someone in our Hall house right now that's there for a month. So in that month, I would have 30 days filled. But then maybe come June, which is kind of a low time, I might only have 10 or 15 days filled. So that's why I take 20 days per month and kind of use that as a guide. So the 180 times 20 is $3,600. I take that $3,600 and look at, okay, I can make $3,600, but then what are my expenses? Compare that with your expenses that we talked about, like the mortgage or HOA or your maintenance fees, yard upkeep if you have that, and then the monthly bills like JPS and NWC and flow. See how it works out. Do you make money based on how much you're paying for your mortgage? Would you need to charge more per night for the Airbnb? And if you have to charge more, how much more? And if you charge that higher rate, are you going to be competitive with other people that are renting their homes in this area? And just a side note, I like to use the homes that show Superhost as guides because these are people who have had a lot of bookings. So the prices that they're charging, people are paying. People are willing to pay that price to stay in that home in that area. So that's a really good way to look at it, because you can charge $500 a night, but nobody's going to book it. If you're charging $180 a night and this person already has 36 reviews, they're getting a lot of bookings because these condos haven't been open that long. So this person is doing really well. So just keep that in mind, those guidelines. It's going to be different with every area, every house, depending on if it's a house or a condo. So just make sure when you're looking on Airbnb, you're finding something similar or comparable to the home that you're wanting to purchase to make these comparisons. So I know a lot of people don't like to do this research and look at this. If you guys have trouble with it, please reach out to me. I'm kind of, I like to look at numbers and I like to do research and things like this. So if you guys run into issues or you have questions about maybe some of the expenses, the only thing I really can't help you with is the amount that you're going to pay on your mortgage, because that's very different person to person. Like I said, you may pay cash for your home, so you have no mortgage. You may finance 90% of it, so your mortgage is going to be higher than somebody who puts, say, 50% down. They're going to have a much lower mortgage. So it really depends on your particular situation. That part I really can't help you with as far as figuring out expenses, but all the other things I can kind of help you with. So feel free to reach out to me via email or in the comments, and I'd be glad to kind of help you guys out and point you in the right direction because, honestly, it can be kind of scary buying a property in another country if you live abroad. And to me, it always gives me a little peace of mind to know that at least the numbers theoretically work out. You'll know right away if it's a bad investment, if you're going to make money on it, if it's going to be a good thing, or, it might not be the best idea. Maybe you should save up more money and buy a house, once you can put a bigger down payment or something like that. So the numbers don't lie. Try to do the math as best you can. If you need help figuring out expenses or kind of how to do the research on Airbnb, feel free to reach out. I'd be glad to help you guys. And I just hope that whatever home it is, you try to buy a home and make that investment now, because the prices just keep going up and up. So the sooner you can get in, the better. And I hope this information was useful to you guys. Please leave comments if you have questions, and I'll see you next time.